happens here in the government and the police and the intelligence agencies. A hard target, indeed. For Caruso's part, he wasn't exactly a debutante in this game himself. Dom had been tailing some scumbag or another for most of the past decade. He'd spent several years as a special agent in the FBI before being recruited to the campus along with his twin brother, Ryan. Ryan had been killed the year before in the campus blackout in Libya. Dom had been there. He'd held his brother in his arms as he died. And then, Dominic returned to the campus, hell-bent on doing the hard, dangerous work he believed in. Dom stepped around a young man selling tea from a large jug hanging by a leather strap on his neck, and he picked up the pace, anxious to get to the next decision point for his target, a four-way intersection some 100 yards to the south. Back in the alleyway, Caruso's partner, Sam Driscoll, followed the three men through the winding passageways, careful to keep his distance. Sam had decided that if he lost contact with his target, so be it. Dom Caruso was making his way forward to a choke point ahead. If El Dabousi disappeared between Sam's and Dom's positions, they would look for him. But if they lost him today, they would pick him up later, back at his rented house. It was better, it had been determined by the two Americans, to chance losing the target, rather than to press their luck and run the risk of compromising themselves to their target or his protection detail. El Dabousi stopped at a jewelry store. Something had caught his eye in a dusty glass display case just inside the wide entrance. Sam continued forward a few yards and then stepped into the shadow of the canvas tent, under which young salesgirls sold chintzy plastic toys and other tourist kitsch. As he waited for his target to move on, he stepped deeper into the shade. He felt he blended well into the scenery, but a teenage girl in a chatter saw him and approached with a smile. "Sir, you want sunglasses?" Shit. He just shook his head, and the girl got the message and moved on. Sam Driscoll had the ability to intimidate with a glance. An ex-ranger with multiple tours of duty in the sandbox and beyond, he'd been scooped up by the campus after an introduction from Jack Ryan Sr. Driscoll had been chased from the military by Justice Department lawyers doing the bidding of a guilty administration, hungry for Sam's blood after a cross-border incursion into Pakistan left a few too many dead bad guys for Clinton's taste. Driscoll would have been the first to agree that he'd violated those terrorist shitheads' civil rights by firing a .40 caliber hollow point into each of their brain bands. But as far as he was concerned, he'd done his job, and no more than what was necessary for his mission. Life's a bitch, and then we die. Jack Sr.'s publicity of the Driscoll affair was enough to get the DOJ to drop the matter, but Ryan's recommendation, along with John Clark's personal appeal to Jerry Henley, had gotten Sam hired into the campus. At 38, Sam Driscoll was several years older than Dom Caruso, his partner on his side, and even though Sam was in excellent physical condition, he wore his extra mileage on him, manifested in a graying beard, deep-set creases around his eyes, and a nagging old wound to his shoulder that he woke up to each and every morning. The injury had come in a firefight on the exfil during his Pakistan mission. A jihadi's AK round had shattered a rock in front of Driscoll's firing position, sending natural shrapnel into and through the Ranger's upper body. The shoulder didn't bother him so much at the moment. The stiffness and soreness melted away with movement and exercise, and a couple hours of foot-follow surveillance through Cairo's Old Town had given him plenty of both today. And Driscoll was about to get some more exercise. He looked up and noticed El Dabousi was on the move again. Sam waited for him, and then stepped out into the alleyway to resume his tale of the silver-haired terrorist.